In case you're unaware, I hate to be the person to give this news, but it's with an extremely, extremely heavy heart that I tell you that Akira Toriyama has passed away. Now, I want to make a couple things clear. This video is not monetized. It's not really a video at all. I was live streaming when I heard the news, and despite the urge to sort of just end my live stream, I just had a few words of gratitude for Akira Toriyama because he was such a huge, huge, influential figure in my upbringing and all the way through my adulthood, and just the sense of magic and wonder he gave to not only me, but like my brother and siblings and friends. I just found it to be important to share this message that I spoke during the stream. Again, I don't think I really have it in me to record a whole video, maybe in the future, but these are just some of the words that I had during the stream because I think it's important that us as a community sort of stand together because we're all feeling this. We're all feeling some weight of this, and I want you guys to know it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel however you feel. But again, I just wanted to share some of the words that I had regarding this, and apologies for sub alerts and stuff like that in the background. Again, I was just live streaming when this happened, and most importantly, rest in peace, and thank you for just such an incredible level of mystique that you added to my childhood, Akira Toriyama. And I pray that his family and loved ones find the strength that they need to get through this impossibly difficult time. Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball. There was an announcement that he has passed away. Yeah, I'm shocked. I apologize for just being quiet, but I'm shocked. I'm just hearing this for the first time, and it's one of those things, you know, like all of your heroes, all of your icons, all of the people that inspired you growing up, like, you know, like in everyone, we all have our date, our time, but you just never really, you're just never quite prepared for when that time comes. On the outside looking in, you know, for some people who aren't really invested in this sort of stuff, you might be like, you know, oh, you didn't know him, but like, when your whole like, and I'm emotional over this, but I'm also like my brother, my younger brother, like we grew up loving Dragon Ball, you know, pretending we were Dragon Ball characters playing, you know. And obviously, if you know, you know, like my brother, sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry, but you know, my brother a few months ago passed, and one of the things, you know, he loved Goku. He loved Dragon Ball just as much as I did, as much as everyone else did. So the fact that, you know, a few months after he passed, you know, the creator of Dragon Ball, who was my not only childhood, like fuck childhood, like my life, you know what I mean? My whole life. Fucking Shenron tattooed on my arm, man. Goku on my shirt. Kamehameha, you know what I mean? Like, Yeah, that's heavy. Like there's a few of those people who were like deeply rooted in your upbringing based off of what you were passionate about, that you know, had such a heavy influence on you that despite the fact that you didn't know them personally, or maybe, you know, never met them, they were such a significant part of your life indirectly that, you know, like Chester Bennington, Linkin Park, you know what I mean? Kobe, like these are people that I'd never met, never knew I existed, but like just watching them and growing up with them as a part of my life in a way that makes it so heavy. And like the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, you always have to look at, you know, the positives. Like, again, not to harp on my brother's situation, but he was younger than me. He's my younger brother. So like the fact that Toriyama was able to live nearly to 70 is, you know, a blessing in some way. Obviously you aim for your idols to live much longer or as long as possible, but you know, we all have a date. We all have a day. And it just means you need to appreciate the days that you're here. Like there's some days that I feel like, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but like you kind of let it go by, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, because in your head it's like, oh, it's just another day. But really you need to appreciate every single day that you have, because you just never know, man. And not only appreciate every day, but also like not just for yourself, but also appreciate just like the time you have with certain people. You know what I mean? The time you have with your, you know, siblings, your friends, like whoever in your family. It still doesn't feel real. Like it's just crazy. And that's kind of like the general, you know, thought process is, you know, it just doesn't feel real. And it's not going to feel real. It's like you're gonna wake up one day like, and it's just like, damn, like I can't believe that. Like it doesn't even feel real, you know? And again, as somebody who recently dealt with like the most devastating loss of my life, it'll feel real eventually, but then after it starts to feel real, it doesn't feel right, you know? Like it feels like there was some sort of mistake. Like how could that happen? You know, it's just like, then you're gonna feel sad, you're gonna feel mad. And again, we're all people who didn't even know this individual on a personal level, you know, but he was just ingratiated in all of our upbringings. Felt like just yesterday we lost Takahashi, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh. And again, like now I think, because I didn't fully understand, like I knew how, and I'm not comparing situations, but it was just like I was the outsider of a situation like this where I was never really into the Marvel stuff. So like Stan Lee, and like I saw how emotional people were over that, and I understand. I never was judgmental, but it was like I didn't fully feel like, I couldn't understand what that feeling was like. It's like, oh, you don't even, you know, you didn't even know that person, but it's just like, until now, like, you know, I'm not a very religious person, but I'm not atheist either, but I do consider myself very spiritual. I believe in like, you know, energies and stuff like that. And they say that energy cannot be destroyed. It just transferred. So I believe that there is, and this is just my belief, I'm not here to debate, like now's not the time, I'm just sharing where I'm at, but I believe that regardless of what you believe in, like I do believe there is more to this, you know? I do believe we are transformed into something else, you know? Like we're just controlling these meat sacks, you know what I mean? And regardless of, you know, whether you believe we go here, we go there, we do this, I do believe we do something. So with that said, whatever that next thing is, I just hope it's beautiful for him. I hope sorry, I just think of my brother. Hope they can hang out. Cause he loved that dude. Was inspired by him. So sorry, it's a combination of things. In case somebody's joining out of context, not that anybody should feel bad about getting emotional over this, but just know for me, it's twofold. Like, it's reawakening, you know, some suppressed feelings. But I think it's important, like, you might be like, oh, just get off. Why are you live? Like, you know, just deal with this. But I think it's important to show that, like, it's okay to show your emotions, you know? Like, because I know what it's like when you suppress that shit. Like, a lot of people who have really bad anxiety, really bad depression, it's because you have all this shit locked into you and you don't release it, you know? But as hard as it is, like, you have to just look at what an amazing legacy this man left behind. Like, the fact that there are I'm not alone. There's millions and millions of people around the world right now crying. There's millions and millions and millions around the world right now crying. And I think, you know, the end is a part of the journey. Every book that you open has an end to it, you know? And it's just a part of the process. And instead of feeling so sad about the last couple of pages, you know, just like really appreciate everything between page 1 and page whatever, you know, between the beginning and the end. Like, appreciate that big chunk of the story that person left behind and the impact that person had on your life. You know, like, I'm not gonna lie, with my brother, I try to run away from just the thought of it. And that's why I think it's like, again, there's no like correct timetable of like, oh, you should be over it. But, you know, I know that it's not real. I'll never be over it. But like, I did find myself, like, if there was a picture of him, like, I just kind of like pretend I didn't see it and like just ignore it. There's like a thought of him, like I didn't even want to think about him, and not in like a malicious way, but it's just like, it's like you're hiding from the discomfort the discomfort, you know, emotionally, that it makes you feel. So I bring that up to say, like, I do know how important it is, like with Toriyama, like something that I have had issues doing with my real, you know, family situation is, you know, just appreciating the impact, the positive impact that those people had on your life, you know? God, man, like, what we should do is just share our favorite, like, you know, Toriyama works or like moments in your history that only exist because of that man. Like, all of you guys, like, what I do for a living, the fact that like I'm able to talk to you guys and there's people here to listen, is because of him. Like, the content that I made is inspired directly from his work. You know, this community that we have is directly because of his work. Shit, and it goes beyond that. Like, even outside of Dragon Ball, like how many mangaka have come out and said that they were inspired by Toriyama? Like that was their like Superman. That was their, you know, that was their Goku. You know, like that was their inspiration. Like the whole landscape of anime, of this form of entertainment, which has grown astronomically, is most impacted by him above literally anyone in history. I know you guys are gonna be like, you know, why are you live? You know, just deal with your emotions. But we're a community, man. I think it's important. Like, we're all like, this doesn't just impact me. Like, instead of all of us just tucking away into a corner or into our rooms and just being sad or, you know, cry, like, we got to stand together. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're all impacted by this. Like, Dragon Ball is my childhood. And I know I say childhood, but like, again, this shit's it's been my adulthood too. Look at me, grown ass man, bro. Grown ass man. Dragon Ball. You should see my fucking closet. Like, what a legacy, man. What an empire. And I think, again, the thing that's more valuable than all like the money he may have made, you know, how successful Dragon Ball was, the one thing that's more meaningful is the fact that is this feeling, the feeling that we all are feeling right now, this like lump in our chest, this just like discomfort, this sadness, like that is the most, that is what I think he would be most proud of, is the fact that this many people have been touched by his work. And like, you just only hope that he knew, you know, like you only hope, because he was one of those people, he stayed to himself, you know, he stayed to himself. He was just, you know, with his family. He didn't go out. He didn't do like a lot of public events. He didn't do like a lot of showings and stuff like that. He was very just private person. But like, one thing that I hope, because of the fact that he never like did any of that things, I hope he knows how many people like not just adored him, but like idolized him, revered him. Like, Toriyama's work was like the gospel for so many. But like, really, man, like, bro, I was somebody who, growing up, and from time to time, even now, I'm not gonna lie, like, one of my fears, like, it would keep me up at night, even when I was like 6, like I would be like 7, 8 years old, and like just thinking about death absolutely terrified me. Like, terrified me. And like, that went away. It's not that the fear went away, but it's like, it wasn't something I was really concerned about. But it was kind of reawoken when my brother went, you know, and then I had like this big, and I'm still on it, like a spiritual journey. And again, in case you're just joining, it's not like a specific religion, but it's just like being in touch with, you know, energy and like, you know, just the subconscious mind and just stuff like that. But what I'm trying to get to is like, we are here right now. You're watching this stream. You're watching right now. I'm speaking right now. One thing that we all have in common is the fact that we're all here right now together. We, in this little nook, in this little speck of time, we're here together. And we need to really just appreciate just life, appreciate each other, onto his next journey. In all of his fantasies, you know, he had this creative interpretation of what like the next life, and it brings me some calm too, is the fact that like almost any, like whether it's religion, whether it's, you know, fantasy, we all have like this speculation of what's next. And I know some, you know, everyone has different beliefs. We're not here to debate right now, but like me personally, like I truly believe there is more, you know. I don't know what that next is, but like I believe that there is. And I think there's some peace of mind in that. You know? It's so sad, man. It is. Like it's one of those things that it's like it hit me and it's gonna hit me again later, and you're gonna think you're good, but then like you're gonna see some form of media and then all of a sudden, you know, you're not good again. I just hope him and his, you know, his family, you know, he had kids, grandkids. I hope they're holding up okay, you know, as good as they can. Again, this actually happened March 1st, but it wasn't announced now. Like me and my brother were super into Dragon Ball growing up, and my brother passed in fucking November. Now, his idol, a few months later, like he was the gateway. Like Toriyama had the same type of impact, like similar. Like the only reason I listened to, like I ever started listening to rock was Chester Bennington, Linkin Park. So that one hit me really hard because like, even though you don't know these people, they're like they're literally a part of your like fundamental foundation as a person. Like you grow up, like whole neighborhood getting together to like pretend we're going Super Saiyan and watching Goku go Super Saiyan 3 for the first time on Toonami. Like all of this stuff just etched into our memories and like built us as people. Dragon Ball AMVs, like I spent years of my life before I ever did the Syriax YouTube channel. I was just making Dragon Ball AMVs. Like that was my whole thing. Doesn't even feel real. It does suck. It just sucks. There's no words that's gonna make it feel better, but you know, just appreciate the time that you're here, man. Like every day. It's so hard, man. I know how hard it is, but like when you wake up, just like we should feel a level of elation and happiness when we just wake up, bro. Like the fact that we get to walk outside and like breathe air, you know what I mean? And like just lay, you know what I'm just like all the little experiences that we can have. Like, then not only that, just appreciate like all your idols, your family, appreciate them, man. As annoying as you may feel like you're becoming, if you just like are constantly just over lovey-dovey, like you got to, bro. You got to appreciate it. You just never know. Like I was a shell of myself when my brother went, and I still kind of like I haven't healed from that shit, man. I haven't. Like I still am. I feel like there was me before it happened, and then there's me now, cosplaying as me before it happened. You know, and I know like I'm bringing two things into this pot, but it's just again like. You know, this happening with Toriyama just really just reawoken a lot. And I haven't even said this part yet because it still doesn't feel real, but rest in peace to the man who shaped who I am. Rest in peace to the man who gave me so much joy just growing up, just having that medium to watch, to enjoy, to idolize. I got my whole family to watch it. Rest in peace to a man who inspired a whole generation of upcoming artists, creators in any medium, whether it's obviously in manga, obviously in anime, but also just in any medium in general. Like, Dragon Ball is so impactful. But also, of course, I hope his family has been able to deal with this as well as they can, obviously, you know. All right, y'all. I mean, I just felt like I had to at least talk about it. I can't just, because like we're a community and like we're all impacted by this. You know, his legacy lives on through our memories, through the stories we tell. I mean, his legacy is fucking tremendous, dude. Yeah. Still doesn't even feel right, but rest in peace. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Take care of yourselves. Be sad, but also try to just be happy for what he meant to all of us. You know what I mean? Because I always think about like what they would want from, like, if they like knew they passed, okay, like let's say like they already knew it was done and they could give us one last message before they're gone for good, I guarantee you this is the man who created Goku. Not to say he was exactly like Goku, but I guarantee you there's probably some sort of like innocence about him that was very Goku-esque. And I know he'd be like, you know, just stay happy, you know, as hard as it is to stay happy, like just keep your head up and like live life happily with a smile on your face to the fullest. You know what I mean? It's sad for us, but it's probably euphoric for him, you know. Keep your heads up and just be there for each other. It's okay to be sad. Be sad. Take care of yourselves, you guys. I love you guys. Goodbye.